Say hi to Zach. He looks a little nervous, doesn't he? Well, that's because he's been charged with aggravated robbery under Section 97(2) of the Crimes Act. That is, robbery whilst armed with a dangerous weapon, namely a gun. Now meet Luke, the complainant in this matter. According to Luke, one night he was inside a bar, enjoying a drink with a couple of friends. A few drinks in, and Luke needed to go to the bathroom. So he left his friends and went to the bathroom located at the back of the bar. CCTV footage shows Zach following Luke into the bathroom. According to Luke, whilst in the bathroom, Zach had his hands in his pockets and, I quote, "it looked like he had a gun." Zach demanded that Luke hand over his gold necklace that he was wearing around his neck in addition to his wallet. Luke, fearing the presence of the gun, handed it over, following which Zach promptly left the bathroom and ran out of the bar. Luke subsequently reported this incident to the police, telling them that he was just robbed by a man with a gun who took his wallet and gold chains. And by good fortune and investigation, a couple of days later the police managed to identify a man matching the description provided by Luke. Whilst being interviewed by the police, Zach admits to having committed a robbery against Luke. However, he denies that he was in possession of a gun. And indeed, this is his pleading in court. At trial, Luke gives evidence of the night in question. He states how he was just having a good time with his friends, celebrating their most recent rugby win. He needed to go to the bathroom. Shortly after entering the bathroom, Zach entered. Just as Luke was about to say, "He had a gun and he robbed me," counsel for Zach objects. On what basis? The judge asks. On the basis that there was no independent evidence of there actually having been a gun. No such gun was found in the police investigations, nor did the CCTV footage capture it, and indeed, Luke himself did not see the gun being pointed at him. In the absence of such evidence, what does Luke's evidence constitute? That's right, an opinion. And we know that under Section 76 of the Evidence Act, evidence of an opinion is not admissible to prove the existence of a fact about the existence of which the opinion was expressed. That is, whether or not Zach had a gun. However, we do know that there is an exception for lay opinions, and that is, if the opinion is based on what that person saw, heard, or otherwise perceived, and evidence of the opinion is necessary to obtain an adequate account or understanding of the person's perception of the matter or event. Think about it this way. Absent the opinion of Luke that Zach had a gun, what other evidence would he be giving to this effect? That Zach had his hand deep in his coat pocket? Or there was a large bulge in his pocket? Or even a sharp sound came from his hand that was in his pocket? If these were in fact his perceptions of the matter or event, then all of this is made all the more clear if he expresses the opinion, "He had a gun in his pocket and I heard him cock it." Or, "He cocked the gun that was hidden in his pocket." In short, we identify the opinion that is based on that person's direct perception about a matter or event and demonstrate whether or not that opinion is necessary to obtain an adequate account or understanding of said perception. The next key exception is that where the opinion is based on specialized knowledge of the person giving the opinion. So let's take a look at an example. A couple of police officers responding to reports of domestic abuse obtain the custody of a child who seems to have suffered some sort of physical assault. They take the young toddler to the hospital, where she is to undergo a physical examination by a paediatrician. paediatrician, being a doctor who specialises in the medical care of infants and children, conducts a thorough physical examination of the child. Following this examination, the doctor, being somewhat troubled by the physical injuries the child is presented with, begins to type her report. Child presented with physical injuries consistent with blunt force trauma. Positioning of hematoma confined solely to upper thigh and lower back, indicative of directed striking. The parents apparently told the police officers that she simply fell down the stairs. Falling downstairs? What a load of garbage. Clearly the work of abusive parents who have no business having children. Now assume the good doctor is later called to give evidence about this report in the trial of the parents. If we look at the report, there are 3 key extracts that she could give evidence about. The first extract, regarding the child's presentation with physical injuries. The second extract, describing the location of those injuries and bruising. And the last extract, being her opinion as to the actual excuse provided by the parents. Here we have 3 separate opinions contained in the one report, all of which are subject to the opinion rule. If we are to apply the specialised knowledge or expert opinion exception, we know we have 3 limbs to satisfy. First of all, we know that the doctor has specialised knowledge, that is, of paediatrics. And this knowledge is presumably based on their study and training and experience of the medical profession. However, are these opinions substantially based on that knowledge? Or, in other words, are these opinions that have been expressed within the ambit of her expertise? Just ask yourself, is a doctor entitled to make an opinion as to the neglectful behaviour of parents and a qualitative assessment of their character? Or is it more appropriate for them to confine themselves to an expert description of the physical injuries and the likely causal elements?